You actually sent the child away? Do you know how much I wanted to be a father back then? His voice sliced through the hospital air like a knife. I stood steadily in front of him, one hand on the wheelchair, my gaze calm and cold as ice. This child is not yours. He froze, his phone nearly slipping from his hand. I took a step toward him, each step announcing, "You left 16 years ago, and now it's your turn to face the consequences. You think anger can make up for anything? You chose to walk away back then, you don't deserve it." His shoulders began to tremble, his voice choked and weak. I just wanted to see him. I shook my head, my look cutting. It's too late. What you want isn't fatherly love, it's vanity. Now the only thing you can do is face your own failure. He fell to his knees, emptied of strength, humiliated, desperate, helpless. 16 years of avoidance rewarded only with complete regret. 16 summers ago I was only 16. On the school basketball court Mike shouted, "Are you crazy? You're pregnant?" His voice echoed around the playground as students gathered, pointing and whispering. I remember retreating to a corner, tears blurring my vision. Mike and his friends laughed in the sunlight as if watching a show, cruel. They even filmed me on their phones, mocking my ignorance and weakness. My parents were shocked, but calm. My mother sat me on the doorstep and her eyes were steady. "This is a decision only you can make." My father smoked silently beside us. His silence gave me a sense of responsibility. I had to take it on myself, not rely on the man who ran away. I chose to give birth, not for revenge but to give the child a future. I had seen adoption agencies, the cold walls and merciless file cabinets. I insisted on finding a pair who really cared for the child. During that time I learned to face humiliation with composure and to hold firm to my boundaries. After placing the child for adoption I didn't cut ties completely, I stayed in a safe role. I became the child's special aunt, watching his growth from afar, participating in important moments while always keeping my distance. I saw him laugh, I saw him cry, I saw him ride a bike for the first time, go to school for the first time. Each moment was like a pebble dropped in the lake of my heart, sending ripples but never breaking the surface. Later I finished high school and went on to university. I met Aaron, a mature man who understood my past. He once told me that his ex-wife Bella would always have a place in the child's life, and that I was an additional support in the family, not a replacement. At first I felt uneasy, but gradually I learned how to find a balance between respect and love. We formed a new family. I became a stepmother and built deep bonds with the children, especially Liam, who called me another mom. I supported him at every stage of his growth. Over the years my life was calm and orderly. Although Mike had disappeared from my life for 16 years, his shadow remained, like a nail reminding me of past wounds and shame. But I held no hatred. I proved through action that my decision was right. I could protect myself and give the child a happy life. Yet that day in the hospital, Mike's appearance seemed to press 16 years of time back into the present. His tone, his expression, his provocation, it felt like a replay. I watched him go blank and thought, he finally has the chance to see that my choice back then was not only for the child but for myself, a silent retaliation against him. I lifted my chin slightly and arranged the hospital papers in my hand. My gaze swept Mike like a blade. "You want to know why I didn't find you back then? Now you understand, you're not worthy." Mike's eyes widened, his phone nearly fell. I bent down and checked Liam's bandages with calm, automatic care. In that scene the balance of power had completely shifted. I was steady as a mountain, he wandered like a headless fly. Mike stood stunned at the hospital door while I steadied Liam into his wheelchair as if it were a routine. Nurses and parents passed by, but in my vision there was only him. 16 years of resentment and helplessness fell back on him, and with a few words and actions I could make it all visible. I walked slowly toward the lobby exit, the clipboard with Liam's file in my hand. My fingers trembled faintly, outwardly arranging papers, inwardly maintaining control. Mike stammered behind me like a lost hunting dog. You just reject me like this?" I stopped and sneered. "Reject? No. I gave you plenty of time and space to prove you were trustworthy. You chose to run away, and now you can only watch the child you abandoned grow up happily without you." His face darkened instantly, his voice quivered. You can't do this." I stepped closer, my voice low and steady, leaving no room for argument. "I already did. For 16 years you never showed up, not once. Not even a single message. I didn't take anything from you, you gave it up yourself. What you want now is nothing but selfish pride. He took an angry step toward me, shaking, pointing at me with trembling hands. I can. I want to know where he is. I have a right. I can. I raised my hand in a measured, deliberate motion that brooked no denial. You have no right. The child has his life, his parents, his family, and I have a responsibility to protect him. The only thing you can do now is admit you ran away, but that ship has sailed. His body froze as if iced. He tried to roar, but his throat tightened and words stranded on his lips. I slowly took from my bag a letter I had written to myself 10 years earlier, a record of every humiliation and pain, and unfolded it before him. Look. This is who I was, 16, abandoned by you, 16 years of fighting to live, to protect my child and myself. You thought I was powerless, thought I was weak. But I survived, and I lived more brilliantly than you imagined. His eyes bulged, his Adam's apple bobbed, the hall's light seemed to focus on his face. He stepped back, his hands nearly dropping his phone, a helpless child. I'm sorry. I didn't relent, instead I stepped even closer, my voice calm as still water but making him tremble. You don't need to apologize to me. I didn't do this for you. I did this for myself, for my child, for my family. You? 16 years ago you proved with your choice that you were never ready to take responsibility. Mike's shoulders shook, his expression slid from anger to fear and then to utter despair. He muttered, I want to see him, can I contact him? I lifted my hand and lightly touched his chest, like pressing a button. No. You cannot. You have lost that chance. The child is not yours, he belongs to those who love and protect him. You must live with that fact. His voice finally broke like shattered glass. Please, just give me one chance, even one. I shook my head, my gaze hard. The chance passed 16 years ago. You were not prepared to shoulder it. What you want now is selfish gratification, not fatherly love. The only thing left for you is to accept that you failed. He sank to his knees, palms on the floor, trembling as if frozen by a cold wind. People around began to look over, but I did not care. Like a hunter sheathing his bow, I gathered my composure. A victorious calm settled over the scene. I turned and pushed Liam's wheelchair into the elevator, my back resolute and steady. Mike knelt in the lobby, his eyes fixed with tears, fear, and despair, a lesson etched into him. Evil meets its consequences, and I was not only a survivor but a victor. As the elevator doors began to close I heard Mike's voice, choked and feeble. You don't understand. I did not look back. I did not need to. My life went on, the child was safe, my family intact, and he would have to face the desolation of his choice. Calm, specific, and clear, that was my perfect revenge.